So one of the questions I've been getting for quite a long time is how you should eat in preparation for your PRMC. So while you're doing your, however long your training program is, 3, 6 months, is there a certain way you should eat? I want to keep this simple because you guys doing the PRMC, when you're in recruit training, you won't always get the fuel you'll need for the different sessions when you're in the field, and then obviously when you're in operations, you eat when you have to get on with your job. So we don't want to approach this like a professional athlete. However, I do think that there are some key guidelines that can help you all. Before I get onto that, it's probably worth saying that there are two types of people who will be paying for the PRMC in terms of nutrition. Those that aren't eating enough and those that are eating too much. For those who aren't eating enough, you're probably on the smaller side. When you get into training, you'll maybe struggle with the Bergen, but you're probably very good at running right now. Press-ups aren't a problem. You might find pull-ups a little bit more of a problem. And you feel like you're eating a lot, but you're just not gaining any size. You're probably not eating as much as you think. So one thing I'd say is stick to simple guidelines like always have breakfast. Make sure you're eating your 3 meals a day at least, so breakfast, lunch and dinner, but don't be afraid to have another meal or snacks in between. In recruit training you'll get 9 o'clockers, so you'll get 4 meals a day, and they're quite big stodgy meals. Make sure you've got protein, carbs and fats with every meal. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, because that'll help you and your body's systems work correctly. After every training session, make sure you eat within an hour. You don't want to leave it for ages afterwards because you're not refueling your body correctly. And don't be afraid to prepare food in something like a Tupperware and take it with you to college or work. So if you've trained before, you can eat on the way or when you get there. Or if you're going to go to the gym or go and train on the way home, you can eat properly before you go. For those of you that are at the other end of the scale that are eating too much, you might not realise you are, but if you're on the heavier side and you're struggling with the running and struggling with the pull-ups and you're not losing any weight, then you're obviously overeating. There are simple things you guys can do, which is to not skip meals. If you skip meals, you tend to then be very hungry later on in the day, maybe in the evening, and you'll pick at rubbish and eat bad things. And I say bad things. In recruit training, you'll probably eat all sorts just to get the calories in because you're doing so much. But try to, as one of your little rules, avoid processed foods and fizzy drinks, things like that are very calorific but not very nutritious. Eat your 3 meals a day, so don't skip meals. Have breakfast. Proteins, carbs and vegetables, and fats, and eat lots of vegetables. Fruits, try to eat your sort of biggest meal and fruits, have 1 or 2 a day. Try and eat that after training because fruit's very calorific. It's got lots of nutrients, it's got a lot of calories, so try and have that after training and try and lean more on vegetables than you would fruits. People often think, oh, I'll be healthy, I'll lose fat, I'll lose weight and have lots of fruit, and often they're actually ingesting more than they think. If you guys want any more information than that, I brought out a book this year called The Ration Pack Diet, which is for anybody. It's not just for people joining the military. It's got 3 different methods of making a meal plan and eating healthily for fat loss or muscle gain. I'd say there's some tips in there that could apply easily to somebody training for PRMC. And if you believe that nutrition is letting you down or you're failing to gain weight or failing to lose weight, then pick up that book, give it a read alongside the Pass the PRMC, and you'll probably find that will have the guidelines you need to get to that PRMC and get a pass and get into recruit training, which at the end of the day is why you're here.